What's up, everybody? You guys' heart still racing? Your blood pumping? Is everything still at the high that it was when the Chiefs came back in this game? Because I know mine is. We could spend this film room talking about Patrick Mahomes, the incredible athlete that he is, the things that he does that no one else can actually do, and how he put a team that was desperate on offense on his back, won the game with essentially three consecutive runs to win said game on 3rd and 17. This one on 3rd and 9 where he had Juju Smith-Schuster open. He can do it all. And then when two consecutive missed opportunities because of penalties on the 2-point conversion, he ends up running it in again, making the difference with his legs. We could spend this time talking about him and all of this. But as much fun as Patrick Mahomes is and how great of a player he is, we know that he's great. This defense was getting destroyed by Derrick Henry. He was running all over them. And guess what? They flipped the switch. The Chiefs' defense is the reason that they won this game. They allowed Patrick Mahomes the time to get it in gear, to flip the switch, to bring out the Grim Reaper and get it going. And this is exactly how they did it. They went ahead, just like the game plan we talked about. Stop Derrick Henry. Force him to be a one decision maker, okay? This is what, a 4 or 5 yard gain, but what I want you to see is, first of all, they're in pistol, so they're coming out with 13 personnel, 1 receiver, 3 tight ends. They're going to impose their will. The Tennessee Titans want to run the football against a bad Chiefs defense, especially against the run. So what do the Chiefs do? They flip the script on them. They force Derrick Henry now to have to go one place. He can't get outside. He can't do everything that he really does exceptionally in terms of reading, reacting, using his acceleration as a big, huge human being to get to the outside and start breaking arm tackles. Instead, he has to go into the middle of the defense where the run play is designed for. Really, his biggest runs, they come off of runs up the middle as well, but a lot of times it's those second reaction where he can work outside, start breaking arm tackles, and create angles. If he has to come up the middle, then that's where you're going to see bodies can start to flow and things can start to happen. So what ends up happening here? This is supposed to be just a run up the middle. Again, like I said, right here, boom. Okay, so how are the Chiefs doing anything different than they do on a normal play? I see a giant hole right here. He can just run right through it. Not really, because Karlaftis here on the left side of the defense, staying disciplined to his edge. You can't get out there because you have the ball here on this read option or this RPO fake, whatever you want to call it, and he has to stay disciplined to here. You've got Leo Chenal off to the right here, and then you have Trent McDuffie coming up too. You've got even Juan Thornhill coming here. Justin Reed off to the left too. So they are crashing the edges in a sense to force him into the middle of the defense. So you've got Willie Gay here that's showing off his strength getting in here. You also got Khalen Saunders identifying where this run is going, looking for the football. Chris Jones is doing the same thing. You also got Nick Bolton trying to do the same thing. This is really what this comes down to, is fighting to be there. They all did a great job of forcing the issue, staying disciplined in their gaps, not getting upfield all the time, looking for the football, identifying. Look at the heads. This is what I'm talking about. You've got guys all looking for the football. He's looking. Khalen Saunders is looking. Willie Gay is looking. Everyone is looking for the football. When you can stay gap disciplined and you can maintain this type of leverage and force Derrick Henry to go one place where you want him to, that's how you create him churning out what could have been maybe a 10-plus yard gain and having to force a churn out of 4-5 yards. That's simple enough, but when you start doing that, you can create bigger losses and less yardage gains on these rundowns. And here it comes back to basics, okay? They did a good job of letting guys like Leo Chenal make plays. He was all over the field against this run defense, and he was able to really come out and show his Wisconsin roots. Look at right here. He's going to fight across the center's face, or whoever's coming at him, 54. He's going to fight across the face and get in front of him. That's a great job of reacting. 64, excuse me. Right here. This right guard is going to try to have to block him. He's got to reach block. He's got to get to Leo Chenal, because that's the one guy that can fight across the formation here. They're just going to run an outside zone that lets Derrick Henry fight back and find it. But Leo Chenal, again, great job. Boom, 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 boom. Fight down, go, 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 go. Fight down across the line, get underneath that block. But again, you're also seeing more discipline. Again, you got these guys right here. Boom, taking up blocks. Okay. I'm staying on the outside here. You can't get me here. I'm going to stay right here in this gap. So if you cut back, I'm coming. You guys can't come back this way because we have it on lockdown, okay? Multiple areas where they have maintained backside discipline because again, a lot of times Derrick Henry can read it. He can cut back and he can cut up a gap anywhere and really make some damage on the defense. So maintaining those disciplined run stopping lanes and then funneling everyone to the football. Getting bodies at Derrick Henry. That's how you bring him down. That's how you can create this situation that the Chiefs were doing. They were forcing punts and they were getting after Derrick Henry. And when I said back to basics earlier, this is everything right here. This play is everything. Because when you know that an offense is going to run at you, how do you stop it? How do you keep your linebackers clean? How do you let them flow to the running back and force a stop or short or of no gain? You take up blocks. You don't let the double teams get to the second level. You make the interior right here stuck. You have to force them to not be able to move that line of scrimmage back, not get to those double teams to the linebacker. Don't let it happen. Maintain discipline on the outside and let the linebackers flow. This play is beautiful. Like, this is exactly the type of run defense that I wanted the Chiefs to have and that we were seeing earlier in the season. You keep your linebackers clean. The tackle on the left side here, these three blockers, okay, are going to be taken up by these two guys here and here. You're going to have him blocked down, and that's how this creates a little bit different. You're also going to have him come out here because you've got some Justin Reed, I believe, is on the outside. So you have Mike Dana setting the edge against Jeff Swain, who's really more of a blocking tight end. And then you have George Karlaftis setting the edge against the guard here, who's going to end up reach blocking him. And that creates its own lanes in and of itself because they're trying to get, Derrick Henry flowing here, a gap to create space. They want to work this double team to Willie Gay and hook him right here. They've got the down block. They want to go, boom, we're just going to run right through here. Instead, because Derrick Nnadi and Chris Jones do such a great job of knocking these three guys essentially out of the play, and then you have Nick Bolton say, hey, guess what? I'm taking this lane. I know you guys are running the football. I'm coming down right now, and forcing the issue with Derrick Henry, who then has to make him miss an open field, which he can't really do. He just about got tackled by Nick Bolton, and then you see Willie Gay come in and take everything down those lanes. When you can maintain your discipline, take those double teams up front, and when you have the maintain of the outside, the edge, by both of your edge players, set the edge, allow linebackers to float up into those open gaps. That's all you want to do as a run defense, and you can create negative plays. They did a great job of continuing to do that, play in and play out. And what it did, again, it forced them to start to throw the ball. That was the idea. Get Malik Willis to throw the football. And when you do that, and you are already rushing and kind of rushing along the grain and with a pass rush element to it like Chris Jones has, he sees the ball come out and he chases Willis down, but they're running this kind of outside zone fake, okay? So the offensive line is working from their right to left. And Chris Jones, give him credit. He's fighting to stay with that grain initially, but then he falls off. The guy falls off of him and he's got nowhere to go, and then he sees the football. Now, this is the best part about multiple players were doing this to Malik Willis, because you start to get hands in his face. He's a rookie. He's going to feel a little bit of pressure. And plus, look on the back end. Where's he going with the football? There was such great coverage from the defense in this game all over the place. I mean, the receivers are nothing to write home about. But where's he going? Where's he going with the football? He's got nowhere to go. Leo Chenal's in the passing lane. Everyone's carved up. They're blocked up. And this is, again, a great job forcing Malik Willis to have to throw the ball in some of these second and long and third and long situations which they found themselves in. And Chris Jones, boom, say, I don't care. I'm just going to run with you, make you throw the ball away. Live to fight another down, force a punt, okay? This is where they got a little, things got a little interesting. This was the play that I didn't see on the live watching, but this is 100% a pass play. So they isolate Trent McDuffie on the tight end, which they're going to go to, and the Chiefs are going to blitz, okay? We know that when you blitz, you create some risks, and you have to factor that in. So they take Willie Gay and they rush him off to the left in case it was a wide receiver screen or something. They had the one-on-one on the right, and they trusted Trent McDuffie to do so, which, yeah, he was in great position against a bigger guy, and bad throw, nothing that he could do. Malik Willis is going to be kicking himself. Because this was, again, the risk you take when you overload this side to get pressure and you leave, one-on-one, you create these kinds of rushing lanes. But they were already in his head at this point. And when you have a rookie who is trying to read the situation, is trying to gauge, yes, I can throw the football. I'm going to have some one-on-ones on the outside that I really like, and I like my tight end against a smaller corner. I want to take that shot because I can get the ball to him. But he doesn't ever take his eyes down for a second to look at the rushing lane. So this was a very well-calculated play from Kansas City, from Steve Spagnuolo to blitz on that left side to overload and to try and get not just George Karlaftis one-on-one, but to force a little bit of pressure on Malik Willis to make him think a little bit more. Because, again, they were throwing these to the outside quite a lot in this game, and they were doing a really good job of finally having some success in not having those balls completed. Again, the quality of receivers they played into that factor. You're going to see Trent McDuffie, you're going to see Josh Williams, Jalen Watson, all these guys get challenged later in the season as the better wide receivers come. But that's a growth a moment for that entire defense, being able to kind of challenge Malik Willis to say, if you're going to run the football, run it. We're essentially going to give you a rushing lane. Maybe it was on accident. I'm not entirely sure, but it looked like they were trying to overload that right side of the offensive line. And they did that. They got some pressure on it. They made him throw the football into some situation. Now, this is the game-sealing two-play moment from the Kansas City Chiefs defense. They just went down, the Chiefs did. They scored that field goal to take the 2017 lead in overtime. This is how, again, you set the standard. Khalen Saunders was a game ball winning player from Ryan and myself, and this is precisely why he is going to start playing more on these early rundowns in this defense against Derrick, who has been a great player for this team the last few years. For whatever reason, he's taking a step back. Khalen Saunders is taking advantage of that opportunity to show that he can play in this defense. He can maintain gap discipline. He can be a run stuffer and a guy that you can trust to stop the run in situations like this. He's going to find himself one-on-one with Derrick Henry, by the way, in the hole. But this is how you create some real problems for an offensive line. When you have speed and quickness with your hands, look at, he takes one step with his right foot. His body leverage is really excellent. He's not overweight, but you can see he's really light on his feet. That athlete that he is does a really great job of keeping balance in situations like this. When you have a team that's running an outside zone, they're all coming this way. He just sees this gap, and he's going to swipe and swim right over the center, and the center's going to fall on his face. He did that so quickly that the center had nowhere to go, and you create a hole inside that offensive line. Boom, right there. He's so quick. He falls. Maybe he trips over his guard's feet in the process. But when you're turning your body and trying to block the guy who just beats you across your face, you're going to be in some trouble. But Carlos Dunlap, guys. Carlos Dunlap taking on a double team. There was a play earlier that I may have missed where he dismantles one of the tackles that allows Chris Jones to get free. He just takes him to the ground. I think that was the Chris Jones play in his face. So if you missed that, go back and watch that for him doing that. But taking on the double, you've got Willie Gay coming down. Again, I've talked about this enough here. We have Justin Reed, Willie Gay, Carlos Dunlap all on this right side. They're going to run it this way. And you also have a fill player, and Juan Thornhill could do that. And they have Leo Chenal possible here, and Nick Bolton coming down. They just maintain discipline. I loved watching this defense in the second half against team that wants to run the ball down your throat. And they just did an excellent job of keeping those gaps, not trying to always make the big splashy play, staying disciplined in their ability to stay with Derrick Henry, beat some of these offensive tackles, these guards, and the center to their spots. And Khalen Saunders was a huge cog in this defense this whole second half after that second touchdown. Here it is again. And this is just the play that seals it because there's nobody open. It looks like they were trying to work a screen in this play because you have some guys blocking downfield. At least that's what it appears. It looks like, yeah, they were definitely trying to work a screen to some degree here. Maybe it was a quarterback screen. I'm not entirely sure what it was. But you've got him looking to block. You've got offensive linemen out here to your right. But there's no one open. There's nowhere to go with the football. And then you just see work. Get to the quarterback at all costs. And then Khalen Saunders comes in with the acceleration. That's why I want to see more of him in this defense. When he accelerates, that boy can move. We know he can. But again, I think they were setting something up. It didn't work out exactly as they planned. And it did kind of look like maybe Willis was trying to get the ball to his tight end there, come out to his right. But all of this to say, the defense had themselves a day. And when you can get after the quarterback like this on plays where he, they're trying to set something up to get the ball out quick, but they don't let him do that. And then you just rally to the football right here. 4 guys rallying to Malik Willis, letting it all happen. The defense did a great job in this game, playing sound gap defense in their run defense, letting the linebackers fill, fighting to keep every single down within reach, not to let Derrick Henry run over them, to get after Malik Willis, to make him beat them, which he couldn't do. And they did an excellent job on the back end, playing solid man coverage in those situations that we saw on the outside with the left one-on-one. L'Jarius Sneed, Josh Williams, Jalen Watson, and Trent McDuffie all had very excellent coverage snaps in this game against lesser opponents, lesser wide receivers, but to this end. This is the kind of defensive effort that I think this team is capable of week in and week out. Now, you're not going to come up against a Derrick Henry every single week, so you don't have to always have it, but you want to see the gap discipline. You want to see that run defense stay engaged, because if you can force teams to be more one-dimensional, you're probably going to find that you find ways to get all your defensive ends more pressures, more ways to get home, and you're going to turn some of these pressures that they're getting into actual sacks, because it allows your corners to play a little bit better and to not always be guessing if it's going to be a run or a pass because the defense has been so porous. So this is exactly what I like to see, and I'm hoping they can continue this on, at least in some fashion, every week until we see them again in the postseason, because this team right now with this defense, if they keep this level of effort up, it definitely will be there, and they'll make a nice deep run. Make sure you guys are hitting that like, hit the bell, the sub button. Hit that sub button right now. Become a member. Join the RGR Nation, as we are here to bring you guys some of the best content, the best opinions, and really, we have a lot of fun here, because these film rooms I do for you guys, it helps me learn to teach. That's really what I'm here about. I'm here to teach you guys what this team can do, what it does every single week. That's what I'm about. Make sure you hit that sub. That'll let you in here to get you all this information that we do. I've got a lot of content, and we have a ton. Seth Kaiser has more content. Gary's always got more. We have more stuff for you this week. Our, Done and Done will be back as well. So just keep tuning into RGR Football. We will see you guys every single day. Make sure you go and check out everything that we do. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.